Okay. This is Joanna. Joanna, would you say your Chinese name and introduce yourself to the people?
Oh, sure. Hello, everyone. My name is Yi Chen Dai. My English name is Joanna. I am an English teacher in Hoover Senior High School in Yuanling County. I have been in the dream group since I was in college. I think it has been almost 10 years. And after I graduated from college, I still participated in the dream group. Although sometimes I might have been too busy to join the dream group or work on another thing in my life, I will still come back to the dream group. Yeah, I like the dream group so much.
Joanna, what attracted you to the dream group?
Yeah, the dream group is a very, very safe place for people to get to know themselves better. And in the groups, no one judge you or try to play Mr. Know-it-all, try to give you advice or try to evaluate who you are. So in the dream group, all I need to do is to be true to my inner voice and find what my deep self tries to tell me. And the deep self, I think, is very, very wise. No matter in which way, it always see better than myself. And also during the dream group process, even though I didn't be a dreamer, I be a members, I try to make my best to protect and help the dreamer and let the dreamers speak out, figure out the dream by themselves. I think it's very valuable for no matter the group members or the dreamers themselves. Yeah.
Now you're a teacher. You're a teacher in a high school, right?
Yes.
And this semester you've started a new course there. Could you tell us about this new course?
Sure. Yeah, and I'm so excited that I can have a dream group course in high school. And yes, at first I'm very nervous because I think I need to, like my other course in high school, I need to prepare something to my students. But in the end, it turned out that I didn't need to do anything. All I need to do is listen to my students and ask the right questions so that my students can respond with their own hearts, respond the question with their own hearts and the feelings without the interference of their critical mindsets. So I think it's very, very wonderful course for me. Yeah.
Well, I always said that also that I like the dream group teaching it at the university because I didn't have to prepare anything. And Sharon said, oh, don't say that. You know, in other words,
Oh, really?
I don't have to prepare anything. That means I'm lazy or I'm bad. But the truth of the matter is that you and me doing these dream courses, I don't do mine anymore. They canceled mine this semester and you started yours this semester. And we do, who are doing these dream courses, we do prepare, but not in our conscious mind, in our unconscious mind. It's a huge, huge mind, and it does so much work. And so many, I've been reading, rereading for the second time, Ian McGilchrist's book, The Master and His Emissary.
Yeah.
And this unconscious mind is just quite so amazing. It's so amazing. It does so much work. And then it just brings these things to bear. So you may have experienced a student last week, and this week, the unconscious mind sort of tells you how to relate to that student. And you will say, well, I haven't prepared anything, but you always are right on target. It's sort of the way in the dream group too.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, actually, yeah, I think it kind of my, I can't say I didn't prepare anything. I think I always prepare it, but I didn't know I'm prepared for my course because I always try to sharpen my intuition or try to get to my know my students more. Yeah, kind of, I always prepare it. So in the course, I didn't do anything. I think
I
it's
think it's really important to know the students more. I spend time doing that too. I mean, I talk about the present, but I'm not teaching this course anymore. They canceled it, but I've always done that. I feel to get to know the people in the dream group is so important.
I think so. So so I can't believe Jinan just canceled it because I learned the process in Jinan University. I think it's very, so I think it's different. The university difference from other universities. I think Dream Group is the keep, key points for me. I don't think because we have the rankings in Taiwan, but somehow I think it doesn't matters. I think Dream Group in Jinan is very important.
In other words, you're saying all the systematic ways that the educational establishment ranks universities, to you is not important, but that the dream group is there is important.
Yeah, for me, it's for me like this. I feel I'm proud from Jinan University, and they just cancel it. What?
I feel that's important too. Now, could you tell us how you found this at Chinan University? Later on, you were at Tonghai University, right?
No, I graduated from Jinan, so I think I don't do it in Donghai.
You did. I mean, what I mean is you worked in the school at Tonghai School.
No, I think Lisa do it.
No,
I think
was there, yeah.
Lisa do it. So yeah, Lisa do the dream group in Donghai.
Oh, you weren't teaching at the high school, the Tonghai.
No, it's not me. It's
Well,
Lisa.
you were in our Taichung bamboo.
Yeah. Then
dream group.
Taichung, Taichung dream group. Yes.
Yeah.
So
We've been in a dream group a long time.
yeah. I kept. I don't know. It's kind of very attractive group. Just even though I distract my attention to another stuff. So I come back.
Do you want to say anything about your course and how you teach this course? This is the only, to my knowledge, your course here, you're teaching this, and you are really a pioneer. This is the only high school Ullman Dream Group course in the world, I think, the whole world. And you're down in the middle of Taiwan doing this. So it's quite an amazing thing you're doing, I think. Would you want to tell us about how you're approaching it and
yes. I just use Ullman methods. I didn't change anything during any process. And for me, it's very quite a useful process to help my student to understand their own dreams. And even only one person can be a dreamer, but other students also plays very important roles in the process. And the other student need to take the dreamer's dream as their own dream and to say what they feel if the dream were theirs. And they need to contribute their own metaphors to the dreamers. So I think all the students are all involved in the dream group process. And so I think even though not every student have a chance to be a dreamer, but they got a chance to say what they feel, they can have a chance to get to know the feelings. I think it's very important for human beings, because during school we always get knowledge from teachers or from textbooks, and somehow they don't have any chance to know who I am, who know what people really feel. So they keep gain knowledge from outside its external world, but they forget who they are, and they have their distance from their own self. I think that is very horrible if they don't have they have the distance with their own self. very dangerous.
In my dream group, I've had university professors who've gone through the whole Taiwan system of education. And when I ask them if they know who they are, they say no. Do you know what you want to do with your life? No. That's sad. That's sad. So I think what you're saying about a student knowing themselves is really, really an important starting point to know where they want to go, in life, or what they're interested in doing, and what their real power, what their strength is.
Yeah, I think that somehow my students say they don't know what they want to do, and I think that's not their fault. I think that's the whole environment, the whole system do their job. So
Joanna, do they manage to figure out dreams in the course? And so
yeah, my student try to I think so far we have 3 dreams, 4 dreams to appreciate it. So, and one of the students, she say that after reading appreciating the dream, she says actually in high school life she is not happy because of the school works. It's a lot of pressures from parents or their classmates, because they have lots of standard tests. And when I asked other students in the group, they also said they are not happy, and they feel the most happy life is in their junior high school life. And I was so surprised that even though they are polite students and they are seems happy, but actually in their mind, they can't, to deal with their own pressure, and they feel they are not happy, and even say they are very lonely. And I'm so so surprised to know that. Yeah.
A lot of the students at the university, in my gym group courses at the university, they tell me that they were happier in their high school life than they are now. So it's like the further along they stay in school, the more unhappy they are with it.
Yeah.
That's at least the evidence we get from what we're doing,
Yeah. So
what sort of problems what sort of insights, do you want to say anything about the insights that arise to these students, or what matters to them, or what kind of things they're dreaming about? You don't have to be confidential.
Yeah, I think most of their dreams show their relationships with their own and their with their classmates. And one of the students shared her dream, and she said that after appreciating her own dream, she said that it's okay for her to have a boundary between other people, because in the class, in her own class, some students are very tough and try to leading the whole class, their opinions louder than other students. So she need to follow some of them, and she's not happy with that. Actually, her dream is try to kill someone. I remember that. And then after the dream group process, she find out that maybe she tried to, to disappear her own boundary. So I'm so happy that she is aware of that, and maybe she can, yeah.
So she tried to kill herself in a way.
I think so. But somehow I don't know, but I just leave her to think about it. I didn't just say it to her.
If a cell gets rid of its membrane, its boundary, the cell dies in a sense. You need a boundary to effectively. But this is very interesting, and this is primary to some learning other things, is to learn about yourself.
Yeah, I think it's very very important for them to know they can have a boundary. They don't need to follow other people in some
No.
way. Yeah, it's horrible to follow others, even they speak louder, but they doesn't mean they are right.
Well, America right now, you see that with Trump. He speaks louder and still so many people follow him, even though what he's saying is a lie.
Yeah.
It's really, really sad. These type of people that speak out and want to lead people are exactly the people we shouldn't be following, you know?
Yeah.
So it's interesting, you know. Okay.
It's life. But if every student get a chance to know what they really feel, maybe that kind of person won't influence themselves. Yeah, so education is maybe is the key.
Well, you talked about the pressure that the school gives the students, putting pressures on, but there's a trade-off between pressure and freedom. And I think it's so much more important for a school to give the students freedom to develop and to learn how to think and to learn who they are and what they want, than to put pressure on them to do this, do this, do that, study this, you must know that. It's amazing what we can get by not knowing. I know so many things I don't need to know, you know.
Yeah, even growing up, I feel somehow some knowledge, indeed is very important, but the way we learned in school, I think is not appropriate. Some kind of like history class, we always need to memorize very detailed things, but somehow history is very interesting and important, and but know why the events happens is more
Right.
than to memorize some details and test the students. But for school it's much easier for them to do that. So I can't I can't say anything, but you know, just real to understand. I know why they do this, but it's not the best way to teach
Well, it's easy to
children.
grade. Right? What you're doing, what I've been doing, is not so easy to grade. I find it sort of easy to grade students. I've been doing it a long time. You can see if the ones that get something from the dream group are the ones that don't. But when I used to teach the biology courses, it was so easy to grade. You grade on a curve, you know, there's a number and you line the students up by the number, what they got on the test. And this is a whole different thing.
Yeah. So I think dream group is kind of like a inner shelter. I mean, for everyone.
And you talked about them being taught to pass standard tests. But show me the standard student, you know. None of these students are standard students that I've seen. Everyone is different. Everyone's unique. Everyone is special, but in a very different way than the one next to them and the one on the other side.
Standard tests only can present very little parts of the students.
So how do you teach this course? Is in my class, every 3-hour class was a dream group. What do you do? How do you teach it?
But yeah, the most problem I have is that I only have 2 periods. So I have time limitation, but the process, I think I can do all the process that we do in the dream group. I can, somehow, because most so far I have the dream is not very long, so I think it's okay just do it during 2 periods. I can run over all the process.
How long is
It's
that? Is that an hour or 2 hours? Or?
15 minutes plus 15 minutes, so 100 minutes, 2 periods.
About an hour and a half. People do this. Montague Ullman did his dreams in an hour and a half. You know, and a lot of people felt that I spent too long, but I guess in our dream groups we talk a lot, you know,
to share our lives. So and to figure out the dream setting, so we take longer. But for students, I think yeah, because they are still to try to get used to the process. Like they need to share their feelings or metaphors, but metaphor process, they somehow they can't, they take more time to figure out the metaphors. Not easy for them. Not even now, I still not easy for me to
It's not easy. It's not
yeah.
easy because dreams don't grab the standard metaphors. This means that, that means the other thing. No, every dream, the metaphor in a student's dream is based on something in his own life. They grab that. The dream grabs that example of something in life and says, well, it's like this. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it's not easy to get the metaphor always, or almost
Yeah.
often. It's always not easy.
Yeah, everyone's imagination is very, very, very different. So they use different things or objects to as a metaphors. So it's very interesting, I think.
It's very interesting, and I feel it trains the brain. I feel when I give the dream groups, I get smarter because it keeps me thinking and my mind working. It doesn't
Yeah,
peter out.
yeah, I think train their brain.
Do the students like to like it? Do they like your class?
I think not every student because they are 12th grades, they will have a college entrance exam.
Oh, I see.
And so some students they will participate, they will involved in the class, but somehow they will need to read to study as well. So I think it's okay for them if they are not a dreamer, they sometimes can study their subjects.
Oh, they
And
study in class, in your class?
yeah, but because after the metaphors, most of the time is for the dreamers, so some student will use some time to study, but somehow they listen. So I know it's okay. So it's okay because they will have the exam.
Well, it's really important to what does the class teach the students? It teaches them to listen. Do you want to say anything about that?
Listen, you mean teach student how to listen?
Yeah, do they not know how to listen?
No, not really. But I think they're trying to try ask to teach them how to ask the right questions.
Right. That's the
Yeah.
hardest thing.
Yeah, so some very few students can know how to listen, but some students just try to keep quiet. So I don't know whether they know what listening is really look like, but I think it's okay being quiet. Maybe it's safe for the dreamer. So
Yeah, they get what they can from it.
yeah, so
It's what's important in the listening is to not to listen through our own ideas, but to listen what the dreamer is saying. It may be something completely different than what we think.
yeah.
Let me see. I wrote a few notes. Do you have something you want to did you enjoy teaching the course?
Yes, I feel it's every because I have the course on Wednesday, so every Wednesday morning I just get out earlier than usual. Because I always feel tired each day, but on Wednesday I feel excited. And but the problem is some just worry about no one shared the dream. So but the problem is that, but other thing I think is very, very, very good experience for me being a teacher, because yeah, it's different from other class.
It's true. Sometimes people take a long time to share a dream. It's like nobody has a dream. And what I do then is I ask them, does anyone have a dream from their childhood? And always someone raises their hand then.
Oh,
You can work with a childhood dream. It's smaller, it's simpler, and the context is a long time ago. And the student learns something from that.
maybe I can try next time.
Well, it works. Let me see. You have anything else you want to touch on? That you sort of covered everything I had. I had it in mind.
Yeah. So I think it's very. I think Taiwan education is different, but somehow I try to move forward
Try to
and
what? What's that? I didn't
try
get
to improve, try to move forward.
move forward.
Yeah, and but somehow I just feel it moves forward in a direction. Uh, just just focus too much on the external performance. Like in this semester, they ask students to do some learning portfolios. Each semester, they have maybe they for each subject they can do some reflection on the subjects. So all of this is for the college application. But somehow I think reflection is very private things. And but student, because they need to do the learning portfolio, so maybe they try to, to make themselves look better, but not try to know who they are or to know what I'm really interested in. And somehow, actually, some students' future is very, just follows their parents say. So if they try to do some portfolio, they just focus on some subjects, and that's not real know who they are. So I don't know, just give student more burden, pressure. But I think it's changed. So I think it's a good way, but I think still need to to focus more on their inner world.
Do the other faculty at the high school or the administration, are they friendly toward what you're doing? To give a
I
course
don't
in James?
I don't think they are interesting. I don't
Not
that's
interested.
yeah, very just one my colleague asked me what my course is about, only one, and other maybe other my other co-workers think they just like other courses, so they don't show any interest. And I don't know, maybe maybe I I don't know. Just they don't now they are not curious about what I'm doing. Maybe they don't know what I'm doing. So I don't know. So but I keep doing what I think is important to my students. So yeah.
Have you had any problems in the course so far? Was to any student?
Not very, very big problem. I think so. And I don't know, maybe after this semester, I may tell you what the real problem is.
Are you going to try to continue this course? Is
I
it a
think
one-time thing, or will this be in the future too?
I think because I can't decide what kind of course I can have. So this semester I think is okay, but maybe next next semester I'm not sure whether it will continue or not, because it's school decides, not me. So
Well, the school decides what course it runs.
yeah, so it's not me to decide.
So that's interesting that you persuaded them to let you do a dream group course.
Not they persuade me. I to hand in some proposal, and then they agree it's okay for students, so I can have the course. So maybe next semester, maybe I can't because they arrange the time, what time I should teach. So maybe next semester, I don't know what will happen. Yeah.
So what I was wondering is if later on the semester, maybe toward the end of the semester, we might do a video with you and me and some of the students. I don't know how And they,
Um,
them telling what they've learned in the course. Or what
I can ask some of them, some very dream. I think they have talent for dreams. Maybe I can ask some of them.
those are the ones to ask, because we can't reach all the students, but the ones
Yeah,
with the talent for dream, we can introduce them to their talent, which they can use. Maybe they would become inventors or creators or dancers or writers or whatever, scientists making new inventions. Some people just have a talent for this metaphorical thinking. Metaphorical thinking is important even in science, very, very important.
I think.
And I
Yeah,
think
I
that'd be a
think.
good idea if you could do that. They talk in Chinese, but it's okay. You could translate what you need to into English.
Yeah, sure. I think, yeah, maybe two or three of them show their talents, and they are very interesting in. Yeah, before I have the dream group course, maybe one or two students say that they like to memorize their own dream and to think about the dream, and I think they are very. I will ask them if after the whole semester and if they are okay to do the interview
Okay.
or not. I think it's very wonderful. Yeah.
Even
Like,
one of them would be interesting just to see. This has never been done. No one's asked. I worked with junior high school students in Puli at a junior high school. They invited me to come in, and I led a dream group there for part of a semester. And my experience was interesting. So these were younger students than the ones you teach. And the boys were like monkeys. They really reminded me of monkeys in a cage. They just were always moving around, and their mind couldn't focus. But the girls were very focused, and they were very good at feelings and metaphors and the understanding the dream and looking at the dream in terms of feelings in the dream and what it was a real difference between the boys and the girls. Do you have anything like that in your high school students?
yeah, I think uh not every. I think girls show much easy. I think they can they I don't know, they are much easier for them to get to know the dream, but not every girl in my class show the same talent.
Yeah,
I think they are in some of my students in honor class. They arrange to a better. I mean, their grades better. So so they in different class. Some of them are not easy to understand the dream. I don't know why, but somehow they are in honor class
oh, they're in
because
honors class.
yeah, in honor class because of they got good grades for some subjects. But for them, I think they are it's hard for them to understand the dream. But in other class, some girls are, I think they show the talent, and even for boy, one or two, they give me good metaphors. I mean, not, just very interesting metaphors. I
Yeah,
think they, yeah.
I found that especially in these recent years, in the last 10 years, maybe, the boys or it's at the university, the men in the dream group are becoming more competent. They're doing better job. Some of them are equal to the women. But in every dream group class I've had, in every dream group, there are always more women than men. And Montague Ullman found this too. And now that goes back 40 years or 50 years.
Mm-hmm.
He said in all of his groups, it's mostly women. Women have more of a talent for this. It's just the nature of the intelligence is a different kind of intelligence you use in the dream group than what you'd use to say study to memorize history dates.
Yeah, in my class, I think, yeah, girls are more than boys. But my boys, some boys are, I think they are good. Not everyone, but they are they have a sense to the dream. Yeah.
Do these students speak English at all?
Actually, their English is not. I mean, in their speaking ability, they can't say very great. So most of most of time we speak in Chinese.
Oh, Chinese, of course.
Yeah,
Was
yeah,
wondering if we did a video of an interview with some of the students, I would love to talk to them. I think it'd be so interesting to see what those students have learned and what they see. You know, they see different things that we don't see because we think the way we think and they think the way they think. But
yeah. I
I
think
find it interesting to talk to them and learn how they benefit from the course. That's surprising.
yeah. I will encourage them to speak English if they like to do. And yeah, I think Dream Group gave me a chance to be a better teacher because I can know them more and to be more soft. I mean, not. I think somehow some senior teachers say you need to be a tough teacher if they want to have a good controls of the class, class management. But somehow I don't think a tough teacher, if you want to have a good classroom management, I don't need to be very tough.
Oh, well,
I don't think tough is a good way to.
no. And the Ullman Dream Group process sort of manages itself, you know. We don't, as a Dream Group leader, we don't need to do that much. The students, it's mostly the students talking. Is in your classes are like that it's mostly the students talking and not you?
Yeah. It's Dreamer talk the most, and then I ask questions, and if some student have a question, I will encourage them to say, because I think they are better than me to understand their own classmates' dream because their life is more close to each other and more, I'm older, so somehow I can't really understand what their life really are. So I think their classmates, they know better to each other. Yeah.
Well, you're very good with dreams and all, you've been in the Dream Group a long time and you've always been very good with them. And sometimes you're absolutely magnificent the way you come up with an understanding of the dream. It's just wonderful. So I'm
Yeah,
sure
so,
you help them in many ways too. Maybe you don't notice it so much.
yeah, I think I'm lucky to know the Dream Group. I mean, yeah, because I remember back to my colleague, I know the Dream Group because you post the poster on the
You saw the
bullying.
poster?
Yeah, I saw the poster. Yeah, I always saw the poster, but I just ignore. I just ignore it. But one time I just find it's very interesting. Because I have the course in foreign language and literature. I have a course is about reading the Faroes, the interpretation. Yeah, Faroes. The interpretation. The interpretation of the dreams interpretation for Freud. I mean,
What do you mean, Roy?
the author. I mean, Simon Freud. The interpretation of the dream. The
Yeah.
author. Yeah, and
Freud. You mean Freud?
Yeah, Freud. Yeah, Freud.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce it.
It's okay, it
Freud.
doesn't matter.
Yeah. And I got the course in foreign language and literature, and then I saw your poster, and then I went to your drink. At that time, you are in English corner, not
English corner. We started out there. You know, I spent so much time making those posters and trying to make interesting ones and print them out in color and go all over the university to post them. Very few people like you came, you know. It was a lot of work and not much of a result. So I'm glad we attracted you at least, you know. It's
yeah. So at that time I know Lisa, and we become a good friends. And yeah, so I still appreciate what I have.
And you've been in her dream group also, right? Her in Los Angeles. She has a.
Sometimes I didn't participate every week. Just I mean I have free time.
And
I
you
would
had your own dream group also. Or did that get off the ground? You were starting up a dream group, and I think the Jai was it?
actually that time I just I didn't actually have it because I need to move to another city, so I
Oh, I
cancel
remember, I
it.
remember, yeah.
So yeah, but now I just in the school I got one.
Well, I'm really, I just want to say, I'm really glad you're doing what you're doing. And I think it's a really brave and interesting thing to do. And also, I think that no one in Taiwan is as qualified as you are to do this. So the school should know how lucky they are to have a teacher like you who's really good at this. Who's not going to run around telling a dream what they should learn from their dream, who will allow the dreamer herself to find out what's in her dream.
Yeah, I think it's very, very important.
Is there anything else you want to say before we close off?
No, really.
Okay, let me see. Okay, I'm going to see if this is the right button to push. And thank you very much.
Thank you, Phil.
Okay.